Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Get Crackin' on Christmas for December 2022. Our last Get Crackin' on Christmas for this year. So excited to be here with you guys tonight. If you're catching me live, thank you so much for spending some time with me during this really, really busy season. And if you're catching the replay, hello to you guys as well. I'm so excited. I had so much fun making these cards, you guys, that I just can't wait to get started. I cannot wait. Hello, hello, everybody. So I just wanted to let you guys know there is a fun giveaway for Get Crackin' on Christmas. And oops, hold on one second. There we go. There's a fun giveaway for Get Crackin' on Christmas this month. I am giving away these 3 items. It is the Bold Tidings mini stamp set. Okay. Lots of fun sentiments. It's the gray two-toned wood grain cardstock that until Tim did his live, none of us knew we needed to have. And word on the streets, once it's sold out, it's sold out. And then I wouldn't be Jen Shirkus if I didn't give away something sparkly. So I have these Christmas deco sheets, which are some gold sheets, adhesive back sheets. They come in red gold, red glitter, gold glitter, and green glitter. I don't know, you guys. Words are tough. So in order to win this giveaway, you will need to leave a comment on this video, but not in the live chat. So I think the way that that's going to have to happen is right after the live tonight, you'll be able to comment like normally on this video. You can come back. You have until December 20th to leave a comment. So whether you're watching live or watching the replay, but I just need all the comments together. And the only stipulation is you have to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. So make sure you are subscribed. And I also would love, love, love if you guys like this video. All right. Yay. I'm so excited. Are we all excited, guys? Thank you. I'm so excited that you're joining me. Again, I know it's a really, really busy time. So let me just give you a quick run through on Get Crackin' on Christmas. This is a series I've been doing for a number of years now. And basically, I just discovered that I was not creating as many holiday cards as I wanted to. It was becoming November, and I wish I had more holiday cards made. And I was buying all of the holiday stamps, let's be real, all the snowmen and snowflake stamps, and not getting a chance to use it or use them. So what I decided to do, actually my friend Shari and I started this years ago, is just once a month to make a holiday card. And then we just ended up sharing them on our blogs because why not share with the world? So this has been a series I've been doing for a number of years now, and I just love it because now each month I'm creating a holiday card or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever mood you're in. And this way I'm playing and experimenting with different techniques, different supplies, and I'm using my stamps and dies that I'm buying. I think all the companies come out with amazing products and holiday products in general. And the season is so short, so we just don't get a chance to use it all. So I'm just very excited to have the creative play throughout the year. And then this time of year, I have a good stack of holiday cards to send out. Okay. So that's Get Crackin' on Christmas. We're wrapping up 2022 here. Let me know in the comments. Maybe some of you guys are already done your holiday cards. Maybe you didn't get a chance to make any this year and you're going to join me on Get Crackin' next year because yes, it is coming back in 2023. It is always, oh, well, let me back up. I always post my project on the third Thursday of the month. Always, always. My lives fluctuate and change, honestly, depending on my schedule, but I try to schedule them a few months out and I share those dates and times with you so that you guys can maybe pencil me into your planner. Okay. And remember, if you guys can't watch me live, you can always catch me on the replay. You can leave comments on the video and I will answer them. I've breathed new life into my YouTube channel these past couple months. I'm going to try really hard, you guys, to post more content over here. This is always something I struggle with because I teach a lot of online classes. So it's tricky for me to also have time to film and edit videos as well. So I love it. I'm reading all of your comments. Yay. Sharna's here. She says it's definitely changed me for the better, and I have so many things to send that I'm proud of, not rushed, but fun and unique. And Sharna's been one of my crafty friends that has been posting throughout the year and sharing her cards with you guys. Let's see. Michelle just said I made about 50, but I needed 90, so not everyone got a handmade card. That's okay, Michelle. High five to 50. That's amazing. I saw that my friend Heidi is here. She does a lot of kitting for me for my events, and so I'm happy she's here. And this month she's not kidding. Last month she was kidding while she was watching me. Let's see. Arlene said that she made and sent them all by last week, and people are receiving them. Phew, yay. That is so awesome, you guys. Terry says, I haven't even started. No worries, Terry. You could do some snowflake cards. You could make no cards, no pressure, no worries. Hello, Brianne. All right, everybody take Angela's name down. She's going to join Get Crackin' on Christmas next year for sure. So when you guys are joining in, I would love when you post your cards to use the hashtag Get Crackin' on Christmas. And then that way I'll be able to see your cards, and I will share some of the cards throughout the year on my Instagram stories for other people to be inspired by. And then one more quick thing, and I'll remind you guys at the end of this video to enter the giveaway after the live. You want to leave a comment on the actual video, so not in the chat. Because I want it to be open to those that are watching us live tonight or watching me live tonight and watching on the replay, and having all the comments together will be really helpful. But in order to win, it's open worldwide. You just have to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. So make sure you do that as well. Let's see. Annie says, I was able to buy a lot of holiday products to eventually make cards, but I did not make Lawn Fawn cards. But I did make Lawn Fawn cards, back cards for Christmas. Oh my gosh, sorry, I jumbled up that comment. But I bet those are so cute, Annie. And Penny says she got 48 made and she didn't even start until Firefly Farm classes, where I taught in Minnesota at the end of October. Laura says she made about 80 through the year, but she's working on making final exams tonight. Ooh. That does not sound fun. Let's see. Okay, so just remember to enter that giveaway. And then real quick, just because I have a lot of you guys here tonight with me, I just want to make sure that you guys all know that I also launched new classes today. So today was Lawn Fawn release day for their December release. And so I have 2 new classes available for signups. These are classes that will be happening in January. I won't go into them too long because I can't wait to get cracking on these techniques with you guys. But real quick, I'm doing Frosty Friends. It's an East Coast Fawnies Present class, meaning my friend Shari Moss and I are going to be teaching together again, and these are online. And then I'm also doing So Damn Cute, and that is going to be a self-paced class. So there is no live version of it, but you'll be able to take the class whenever, it works into your schedule, which, by the way, you can do that on all of my online classes. You don't have to be there for the live. And all the details are over on my website, and you can always let me know if you have any questions. So Mary says, are we not able to comment on the video until it's over? So from here, all I can see, Mary, is the live chat. And I need actual comments under the video, not in the live chat, so that people who are watching the live and the replay all the comments will be together, and it'll be easier for me to pick a winner. So basically, stick with me till the end of the video tonight, and then you can quickly leave a comment after I go live, after I stop being live, on the replay, or pop back in before December 20th and leave a comment. Hopefully that makes sense. The set that we're using for Frosty Friends is Making Frosty Friends, and all the supplies are listed in my online shop under the product description for that specific class. Nikki said, I had no idea how much I needed Lawn Fawn beavers. I know, right? Right? Yeah, I feel the same way. It's our new critter. Lawn Fawn has never had a beaver before. All right, I'm trying to set up my screen and something weird is going on. Hold on one second, you guys. I think I got it. There we go. All right. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown. So I created these cards for a assignment for Tim Holtz for his Stampers Anonymous release this fall. And this set of cards inspired tonight's cards. So there is a reel over on my Instagram page. You might have seen it because 24,000 people have watched it, but it is sharing with you guys how I created these cards with distress watercolor pencils and the new festive foliage stamp set. Okay, so you guys might have already seen the process of how I created these. If you haven't, again, there's a blog post on my website where I link the reel, or you can go to my Instagram account and watch them as well. Okay. So then, because I had so much fun making those cards, Simon Says Stamp came out with a card kit. I believe this is the November card kit. Possibly the December card kit, but just the past couple months. And the stamps were very similar. They reminded me like that same feel as the festive foliage ones. So I tried my hand at kind of the similar technique to create these. And really the quick breakdown is I stamp the image in a regular distress ink, and then, using a MISTI so that my stamp stays in place, I then added distress watercolor pencils to the stamp and essentially stamped over it. So it's a really quick way to kind of color your really detailed stamps. Okay. Again, these are on my website with all the details. And then I created this stack of cards. I was a guest designer for Newton's Nook this month, and there is a video here on my YouTube channel on how I created these cards. And so these are made with a clear stamp set from Newton's Nook called Snowflake Ovals. And I just love how it looks. And I shared in my video how I made, I think, 13 cards in, I don't remember how long I said, maybe an hour and a half. And then this one, I stamped the snowflakes over again with some silver pigment ink. So definitely check out this video as well. And I'm just kind of quickly showing you guys these just so that I could show you kind of my progress of my thought process, right? And so then these are my bottle brush tree cards that I created for my Tim Holtz assignment, again, for the Stampers Anonymous fall release. You guys might have seen these on his YouTube Live. And so really, really fun. I still need to blog these. I will be blogging these cards in the next couple days, explaining the process. But this card specifically is the one that really inspired me for part of my cards tonight. Okay. So then this week, because that's how I roll, I make my Get Crackin' on Christmas cards pretty much the week of Get Crackin'. I created these cards and I had so much fun just really kind of experimenting with layering different colors and of course all of the sparkly things, okay? So we're going to get started. I'm going to share with you. I don't think any of my cards tonight are going to come out identical to these, and that's totally okay. And that's what's really, really fun about these techniques is you can totally switch them up and make them more your style as well. Okay. So let's just see. Let me just clean off my table space. So I am going to be using, the main stamp set I'm going to be using tonight is the new Bottle Brush Trees from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. I think you guys can make cards with this technique with any stamp sets. Having a more solid image is easier. Like I think you'll have a more successful turnout of your technique. But then also, I will just say working on red rubber for this technique is much easier. So I remember I did these cards from Newton's Nook that I did and the Simon Says Stamp card kit were clear stamps and they look super cute and I love them. It was just a little bit trickier to get the watercolor pencils to stay on the stamp and transfer. So if you want to try this technique out, first out of the gate, I would recommend a solidish stamp and red rubber if possible. I just think you'll have an easier time. And then once you get the hang of it, you can go from there, right? All right. So what we are going to do is I'm going to be working on distress watercolor cardstock. Now, I know Heidi is watching live right now, and she was just busy, along with my friends Lisa and Dawn, kitting 13 card kits times 300. And one of the card kits that she was kitting, I needed outside in stitched rectangles, which I know a lot of you will be surprised to hear that. But I think it was supposed to be on Distress White heavy stock. And she went ahead and accidentally cut them out of Distress watercolor cardstock. And the front part is textured, which I tend to use the smooth side of the Distress watercolor cardstock the most. But I told her, no worries, it will not go to waste. I mean, I can still just use the panel. But I also use outside in stitch rectangles so much. And this technique actually worked really well on the textured. Okay. So what we're going to do first is basically stamp our trees. That's the first thing we're going to do. And I love that this stamp set comes with so many different sizes and shapes of the trees. So you really can play with, overlapping, different sizes and all kinds of fun happenings. Now, because these are the red rubber and Stampers Anonymous, they already have the cling and the cushion on them. You don't need your black insert in your Misty, okay? And I bought a sticky mat for my Misty from Papercraft Clubhouse back in September when I taught there in person. And can I find it? No. But if you guys saw the edges of my studio space, you would understand why I can't find it. So I just use a little bit of the Tombow removable adhesive to put my background down, just because I kind of want it in the center to kind of figure out what stamping I'm going to do. And then that way, if I stamp off the edges, it's going to look awesome no matter what. All right. Yes, Tracy said creative journey, art retreat, card prep. Thank you to all the kidders. I agree. Thank you to Heidi and Lisa and Dawn. They were all working hard and through Thanksgiving, which was a really weird time. Melissa said that Tim enabled her for the bottle brush stamp set. I love it. Let's see. Just looking to see. Catherine says, why does my family only want me when I'm trying to watch a live? Well, obviously, Catherine, they know. They just know. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a few trees, and I really just kind of like to use the bigger trees for this kind of card design. And as much as I want to kind of switch things up a little bit, I want to kind of stick to what I know works since I'm live right now, right? Because, we don't want to make any disastrous mistakes while we're live. So I'm just kind of placing my trees on here. And then I'm just going to close my cover, which my phone is really low tonight. So I just have to be careful not to knock it. And so now we have our trees on our Misty, okay? And you can see my trees are stained from the watercolor pencils. There's nothing wrong with them. They're going to stamp perfectly clear and clean. It's just, they're loved. I've been using them, right? So we're going to be using the Distress watercolor pencils tonight. And I'm in love. I've been playing with these since, late spring, early summer. I love, and I have other videos where I've been playing with them. So definitely check out my YouTube channel. If you go to my website, you can just search Distress watercolor pencils and you're going to find many posts where I've used them. And then in 2023, early in 2023, there will be an online class with the Distress watercolor pencils. So definitely watch for that. I finally broke up my 3 sets and put them in Roy G. Biv order. So they're not in their set 1, set 2, set 3 order anymore. They're in rainbow order. I love that they're a woodless watercolor pencil. And because of that, I'm going to be dipping them in a cup of water and it's not going to ruin them. And then also they're just very, very, very pigmented, which I love. Okay. All right. Yes, these pencils are the bomb diggity. I love them too. My Copics have felt a little slighted lately. I mean, I have been using my Copics a lot as well, but they're kind of like, hello, we're still over here. Okay, so I got all 3 tins open. And the first thing that I'm going to do, there's 2 ways that we can do this. When you want to add color, just looking for my paintbrush. So for this card in general, let me just grab it. So for this card in general, where I specifically wanted, obviously, the leaves to be green and the berries to be berry color, what I did is I actually took a wet paintbrush and added the water directly to the stamp and then colored the crayon where the water was. And that just really helped me kind of control where the colored pencil was going to go, okay? But in this instance, because I'm going to be mixing all of the colors and I really don't care, if the stripes are even or anything like that, what I'm actually going to do is dip my pencil into the water. So let's go ahead and just start. Let's just start, okay? I'm going to start actually with a little bit of Vintage Photo. And you can see my pencils are very loved and messy looking because I've been using them and I dip them in the water. So I just dip it in the water for, a couple seconds just to soften up the pigment of the Distress watercolor pencils. And I am going to color directly on the stamp set, okay? So I am just directly coloring on, and if I feel like the pigment of, if the pigment isn't laying down enough, I just dip the pencil back in the water. And we're just going to lay the color down. So now I'm going to grab a little bit of fired brick. And I start to color the next color so that it's not touching the previous color, but then I do go into the previous color a little bit so they'll mingle and make a new color, right? Then let's go ahead and do a little bit of candied apple. Yay, Marsha. High five to you to getting your cards mailed. So if you guys have questions as I'm working, I'm going to do my best to keep looking up, but because this is a pretty technique heavy kind of demo, I might miss your questions, but always starting off with the word question helps me really, really see your question and not miss it. So now I'm going to add a little bit of picked raspberry. Brienne said that she put all of her watercolor pencils, distress watercolor pencils, in a distress tin, which I thought of doing that, but I really do like them in their holders, like the black inserts. So I'm still okay with them being separate. I'm really hoping that Ranger is going to come out with some new sets in the spring because I'm missing some colors. I'm missing them. All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of Kitsch Flamingo at the top. That's right, get started on your cards for next year. So remember, I'm coloring just Kitsch Flamingo at the very top, and then I'll start to go down close to the picked raspberry so that the two colors will kind of run together a little bit. You definitely want that to happen. Okay. So that's one tree. Now we're going to go ahead and do our next tree. And so for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some rustic wilderness. Yeah, exactly. Sharon said she made cards all year long so she didn't stress. That is exactly what Get Crackin' on Christmas is all about. Make a few every month, all year long. And then we enjoy it more, right? Because card making has a lot of different stages, right? We love to, look at all the inspiration and buy all the things and organize all the things. But then we like to actually create and design and have fun doing that process. And then we love actually giving our cards to people and having them receive them. So now I'm going to do peeled paint. And again, I start coloring above my previous color and I bring the pencil down so that it will kiss the previous color so that the two colors will mix, but I kind of want some of the true color of, the first one to show up. All right, now I'm going to add a little crushed olive. Linda just asked, do you think down the road they'll offer the pencils separately in case you might overuse one color? And then she said, cough, cough, villainous potion, cough, cough. That's a good question. I don't know. I hope that they would. I think if they're very popular and people are using them a lot, then Ranger will invest the space and time to be able to do things like that. So I guess my goal is just to make everybody want these pencils, have these pencils, and then use these pencils. So then they will do something like that, right? All right, and then now I'm going to finish off the top with Twisted Citron. And if you guys notice, I'm doing a rainbow. So we started reds to pinks. Now we're doing greens over here, greeny yellows. Okay. And then I am now going to do the last tree. So for the last tree, I'm going to start with I'm just looking. Let's go ahead and start with prize ribbon. So Sharon asked if I've talked about the differences between these and gelatos. And I know Tim has talked about it in his lives. I'll just give my opinion. So I know gelatos were really popular a few years ago. And I got, all the sets and totally, wanted to play with them. I never really loved the consistency of them. And I never was very successful using them. I think these are kind of a whole different beast, honestly. But again, I was never super happy with gelatos, so I didn't play with them a lot. But these, I feel very successful with them. And I've done everything from, watercoloring a lawn fawn image to artsy techniques like this to watercolored backgrounds. I've done a lot of things. This was Villainous Potion, by the way. I've done a lot of things with them. I think that these are much softer, and I do feel like they're more pigmented. The colors are more vibrant. So, but again, that is totally just my opinion. All right. Chloe asked if I've seen the Greeteries Lake Reflections stamp set. I'm so excited you're showing this technique, as I think it would create beautiful scenes. I have not seen that yet, Chloe. I'll have to go check it out. So this is Faded Jeans. I can't remember if I said that. Kind of went blue, purple, blue, but that's okay, right? And now I'm going to do a little Villainous Potion. Oh, we already did Villainous Potion. So now I'm going to do a little Seedless Preserves. Okay. And you don't have to worry about your stamp drying because we're going to mist it gently with water in just a minute. And now I'm going to finish off the top with Shaded Lilac. This is, again, it's such a light color. I'm going to color it very far away from Seedless Preserves and bring the pencil down into the Seedless Preserves. Okay. And I remembered my Distress. So I'm going to use my Distress sprayer. And I'm going to just do a fine mist from pretty high up so that it just kind of falls over my all three trees at once. Oh gosh, Mary Lou's asking me to repeat the colors, but then she just retracted her comment. I don't remember the colors. I could probably guess. But remember, you guys can go back to the replay too. So I just did a fine mist, and I'm going to now stamp. Remember, this is on Distress watercolor cardstock, my most favorite watercolor cardstock and the only watercolor cardstock I ever use. Okay, and then we have this beautifulness. Look at that. And I love how some of the ink has pooled in different places. Now, if I wanted to keep working with this one card, I would go ahead and use my Ranger heat tool and dry this. But I'm just going to set it aside because we're actually going to stamp another one. So I've got another piece of watercolor cardstock here. And I'm going to place it in. I think this is where I put it. I don't remember. Sure. All right. And so I could try stamping this. Let's actually do that. All right. I'm going to adjust my arm a little bit. I was not thinking. I wanted it really close because I was like, oh, everybody will be able to see. Hold on one second. But my Misty window is getting in the way. So just give me 1 second. Look away if you get seasick. Jen Nickerson. I had moved this completely for my video I posted today about my classes. This didn't help. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm usually... So what I was going to say is I could go ahead and try stamping this again, which I'm going to do. All right, yay. Now I can close my MISTI without getting in the way. So I did not spray water again. I did not add any more pencil, nothing. Let's just see how it comes out, okay? Which, here we go. And that's not bad. That's actually really pretty. It's a little spotty over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to gently mist with my distress sprayer. So I go up from high up, do one spray. It's a nice fine mist out of the distress sprayer. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Emma says, question, where did I put all the watercolor pencils that you enabled me to buy from Tracy? They're somewhere in my house. Emma, are they still in the priority box that Tracy mailed them to you in? Because I have an order from her like that. Okay, it's still a little spotty here. So a couple things what we could do is we could try to remember what pencil that is. I think it was Faded Jeans. And we can go ahead and dip in the water, add a little bit more, and spray. And this time I'm actually going to spray a lot. Let's just go crazy. This was probably because I was adjusting my arm and talking too long. Usually you can get 2 impressions out of these, but I think it dried a little bit. All right, I sprayed like crazy. Beautiful. I love it. Now, if you feel like this, you've lost the shape of the trees, which I did on one of my cards, I'm just moving the ink around. What we can do is, let's go ahead and dry this with the Ranger heat tool. Hello, Beth. Yeah, these colors are so colorful. If you know your distress colors, you're going to know the colors really well. They're super vibrant. I just love it. So I'm going to dry this just a little bit. It doesn't need to be dry as a bone. And I'm going to take what's on here off. And we're going to go ahead and add the pencil again. Now you're probably like, Jen, what if you don't remember your colors? It's okay. It's still going to look okay. So I'm going to quickly do it as I did before. Vintage photo. I kind of think I remember the colors. Fired brick. That's barn door. I think I say these colors probably in my sleep, honestly. I love distress, you guys. Love it. Love it, love it. So fired brick. Then I did barn door. I think it was Mary Lou who wanted me to say the colors again. So I hope you're paying attention, Mary Lou. Barn door. Picked raspberry. Pitch flamingo. And you can see when I'm not stopping to explain it like I did the first time, this goes by fairly quickly. This one's going to be tricky. So this one I did rustic wilderness. Peeled paint. And don't feel like it has to be perfect. Don't worry if you're filling it all in perfectly. Crushed olive. Just scribble. This is what I love about it, is it doesn't take a lot of brain power, honestly. Twisted citron. And then on this one, I think I started with prize ribbon. I'm already seeing I needed to change my order of my pencils a little bit in their tins, but prize ribbon. Then I think I did villainous potion. Then we're going to do some faded jeans. Yeah, this is the one I kind of went blue, purple, blue. Totally okay. Then we'll go ahead and do seedless preserves. And then at the very top, we'll go ahead and do shaded lilac. And the more of these that you do, you guys, your pencil's going to already be soft from dipping in the water initially. So you don't really even have to leave it in the water as long when you're making a bunch of these. Okay, so I'm going to do a very fine mist and stamp again. And this way, I think we're going to get some of those tree lines a little bit more defined. We'll see. We will see. More pooling of ink, but I can see the shape of the trees better, which is essentially what I wanted to do. Okay, so there's a couple backgrounds. The other thing I wanted to share with you, and to clean this, I just spritz it pretty good with my distress sprayer, which is just water. And I'm wiping them with my flour sack cloth. Once I think I have most of the pencil off, I then just use my stamp chamois in case I have any cat hair or dust from the cloth left behind. Okay, so we'll take these guys off because we'll use some different trees on the next thing. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is I really wanted to play with building up the layers and using more than just one stamp set. And so I actually went through all of my Tim Holtz holiday stamps, which was like, whoa. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many. And then I ended up pulling out some that I always use and then some new ones, right? You kind of have your tried and true that you love to always use, but then I was encouraged to try some new ones. Let's see. Sandra says, it looks like someone asked, if you don't have these pencils, do you have an alternative suggestion, and what sharpener do you use? Thank you, Sandra. So the alternative to distress watercolor pencils is you guys could try any watercolor pencils you own. Again, if they are a wood watercolor pencil, meaning that they're in a wood frame, you just might not get enough scribble. You could try the Dina Wakley scribble sticks. Those are different, but you could maybe get a similar technique. And then the sharpener that I like, which I'm looking for, is this little bullet sharpener. This is actually the sharpener that Dina Wakley suggested for her pencils that we use in her classes. I'm trying to remember the name of them now. But so the thing about these watercolor pencils is they are a little bit wider, so it needs to be able to fit into a wider hole. I know that Prismacolor has a sharpener with 2 holes and one of them works. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add a little bit of background texture. And I love these tiny text stamp sets. This is the Christmas one, and they're great just to make your own little sentiment strips. But I also love it to just make a quick background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use the Hickory Smoke Distress Archival ink. And I'm going to just ink up the stamp. And I don't care if I'm inking it perfectly because I want my background texture to not necessarily be all perfectly legible. Okay. And I'm going to take another piece of Distress Watercolor cardstock and I'm going to place it down and just press here and there. Again, I don't want this to come out perfectly. That's not my goal. Okay. This is perfect. This is exactly the look I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a couple of these. Yeah, thank you guys. If I'm missing questions, please feel free to ask them again. Again, I think I'm usually really good at answering questions, but I'm so excited to make these with you guys tonight. And I'm working on very little sleep, which for some reason is giving me more energy. And this one's pretty technique heavy, so it's harder for me to look up constantly. All right. And I like to use the gray for this so it's just soft. It's not very harsh. And the archival is not going to bleed with the water. Okay, so I'm just placing it down and then just pressing here and there. I'm not rubbing all over to make sure I get a perfect impression. Like, I love that this is happening. That's kind of what I want. Okay, I'm just going to clean this off. And we're going to make some more backgrounds, some more trees. All right. Oh, yay, Dee. And you're not sick of me yet? She says she's been watching me all day, catching up on previous classes. Yeah, these tiny text stamps, I love, love, love. I need Tim. Can somebody please let him know? I need some new ocean stuff. I need some new ocean stamps, some new ocean dies. I would love a tiny text with all oceany nautical words. This mermaid needs all the ocean things, you know? Okay, we are going to, I'm just pulling my previous samples out just so I can kind of glance at them. So I am going to pick some trees again, some different ones, maybe. Can't remember. Oh, we'll do this one this time. I don't know. I don't know if these are different or not, but that's okay. And again, you can change up however you want them, right? Aw, thanks, Dee. They're all different fonts on the tiny text, Sharon. Let me grab the set so you guys can see. But they're all different. I mean, this one's a typewriter, but then this one's more like a Dymo labeler. I absolutely love these ones. Love them. And he has them for Christmas, Halloween, and then like a general one. All right. So the other way that we could do this, and especially now that some of our pencils are already getting soft, is I'm just going to take the distress sprayer and do a mist on my stamps ahead of time. And then I'm going to go ahead in and add some color. And so for this one, let's go ahead and do blues and teals and purples for my friends. We're going to do those purples in here. So I'm going to start with peacock feathers. And if it's a new color I haven't used yet, I'm still going to dip. And again, you just want a quick. Don't worry if it's perfectly laid down. Then I'm going to do some Mermaid Lagoon. See, I've been so busy making all these trees. That's why our Christmas tree isn't decorated yet. Oh, boy. Is anybody else feeling really behind this holiday season, or is it just me? I'm going to add a little salty ocean. And then I'm going to add some salvage patina. Oh, this is your shirt combo, these colors, Sharna? Shirt merch, shirt combo. We got all this lingo starting. I love it. All right, so this will be our purple tree. So I'm going to start with Villainous Potion. And so the way that the Distress watercolor sets are broken up, like set 1, set 2, set 3, they really do have a good variety of colors in one tin. So if you wanted to just start with one, people have asked me, well, which set should I start with? I can't tell you that because I love all the Distress colors, so I wouldn't be able to choose. But if you were to look at the colors, find the set that has the most colors that you like. This is prize ribbon, by the way, which I know is kind of a blue, but it's okay. It's going to look purpley once it mixes. Seedless preserves. And then we'll finish it off with, excuse me, with shaded lilac. Okay. And for this one, we're going to add, let's do, I was going to do teals again, but let's do, I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to do, we'll still do purples actually. So let's go ahead and do Villainous Potion first. We're going to go purple to pink is what we're going to do. And I actually ended up buying a second set of pencils, and that's the set that I am sharpening and keeping nice if I want to do fine shading and things like that. I don't know if you guys subscribe to or look at the Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine, but I have an article in there or a card in there in the product play section in the December or the winter issue, and it's coloring the new beavers from Lawn Fawn, and it is also showing you guys how you can shade and shadow with one color. So that's pretty cool. All right, so purples, and now let's go into some picked raspberry. And then let's add some Kitsch Flamingo up at the top. All right, these are pretty soupy because remember we already added the water. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Yay, Megan. She's rocking the teal glitter all the things hoodie while she drinks from the teal crop on the Cape tumbler. I love it. I love it. I love it. When scribbling pencils on the rubber stamps, are you using a light touch, and will this work on clear stamps? So it does work on clear stamps, Chloe. Go ahead and check out my recent video where I did these cards with Newton's Nook. Okay. And I'm not having a light touch. I'm being pretty rough with my pencils, and that's okay. They're a tool. They can take it. So I love all this puddling. Super yummy. And let's see if we can get another impression. I think I'm going to already need a little bit more Kitsch Flamingo because it's such a light color. But let's go ahead. A fine mist of water and stamp. And I love, again, how this looks with the print behind it, right? So pretty. It just adds a whole nother texture. All right, so this one came out a little light, the tree on the right-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more pencil to just that one. That's my teal tree, you guys. I got to have that a little bit more color. So peacock feathers, mermaid lagoon, salty ocean, salvage patina, fine mist of water, and stamp. Okay, I just answered the questions about scribbling and on clear. What is the difference between the distress pencils and the distress crayons? Annette asked. Now, just remember, you guys, comments are delayed for me, so just give me a chance to also answer. But the distress crayons are much more pigmented. The the distress pencils are much more pigmented, and they have no wax in them, and the crayons have wax in them so they can do like resist techniques and things. And Tim explains all of that if you guys watch his intro video that he did about the distress watercolor pencils. He would be the best one to kind of answer that question for you because he's used the crayons a lot more than me. I use the crayons here and there, but I'm not as versed with them as well as some of the other items in the distress line. Okay, look at that one. So pretty. And let's go ahead and just do one more, and then we're going to move on to another step, another fun thing to share with you guys. Again, I jokingly said on my Instagram stories today, I could make a bajillion of these because I really could. I love, love, love making them. All right, so I'm going to mist my trees a little bit to get it started. And let's go ahead and start with a red tree. So I'm going to start with fired brick. The one thing about misting your stamps with water, you just want to make sure they're still clinging to your stamp platform. I can see mine are wiggling a little bit, so that's why I thought of it. Now I'm adding a little bit of candied apple, and what you guys can't see off camera is just I have my water that I'm dipping my pencil into. And then we're going to finish it off with picked raspberry. Okay, then we'll go ahead and do some greens. So I'm going to do rustic wilderness. Peeled paint. Crushed olive. I'm actually going to go all the way up with crushed olive. Why not? And then we'll go ahead and do a teal into purple. How's that, guys? We'll share. So peacock feathers. So Sharon said that doing a side-by-side with the pencils and the crayons. I'll do more of that type of information, you guys, in my class about the distress watercolor pencils, just like I've done in my other distress classes. I've already done a comparison on my website between coloring with Copic markers versus coloring with distress watercolor pencils. So more information will come. I'm kind of just sharing stuff with you guys. This is Mermaid Lagoon, by the way. Sharing stuff with you guys as I discover it and as I'm playing. Now we're going to add a little seedless preserves. And then we'll go into shaded lilac. All right, giving it a fine mist and stamping. Sharon's trying to not need these pencils or a foiling system. Well then, Sharon, you probably should stop hanging out with me now. Ooh, yeah. Look at that one, you guys. So, so pretty. All right, so now I'm just going to clean this up. Again, I just spray a whole lot of water. My goal is just to get the pencil out of like the grooves of the trees. The pencils, you can see, do stain the red rubber a little bit. It's okay. They're still going to work. Your stamps are still going to work fine. They're still going to stamp fine. All right, I'm going to just set these aside. Whoops, set my Misty aside, throwing things like crazy. And I'm just going to get all my backgrounds in here. And I'm going to grab my Ranger heat tool. So it looks like I made 5 different backgrounds. I'm going to grab my tool and just dry these a little bit so we can move on to the next step. So Donna is here in the comments, and she's been sharing, she's one of my crafty friends that has been sharing Get Crackin' on Christmas, which, by the way, a lot of my crafty friends that are sharing Get Crackin' on Christmas this month have giveaways. They're all linked in my blog post, which is linked in the pinned comment at the top, and it's also linked in the description of this video. I also have the supplies linked and listed in the description. But I know Donna's giveaway is a set of distress watercolor pencils. So I believe she's doing it. Donna, you can let them know in the comments if you're doing it on your blog or your Instagram. Whoops. You can even post your link if you would like. If you do any inky techniques like this or with distress inks, definitely get yourself a Ranger heat tool. It is life-changing. Drying your backgrounds with an embossing gun, it's just not the same, you guys. Not the same. And if you get your pencils ahead of time, you guys, you'll be ready to go when I have my online class, right? Maybe Santa's going to bring them to you. I don't know. Have you guys been good this year? My friend Jen Nickerson said, my favorite is the blues and purples. I'm so surprised, Jen. So surprised. Oh, okay. Donna's giving away the crayons. Sorry, Donna. I'm telling lies. Telling lies. All right, look at all of these, you guys. And again, where the pencil color pooled, I love that. Oh, I love it. It's so, so yummy. Okay, let's get some string of lights on these guys. Oh, I just smudged one of those pools. So we're going to fix that with a little wet brush. So it looks like it was meant to be, right? Let me just zap this with the heat tool real quick, you guys. Linda wants to define good, if she was good enough for Santa to bring her distress watercolor pencils. Yay, Mary already has her pencils bought. She's just waiting for class to break them in. Well, you could try this technique too, Mary. Thank you so much, Rose. Ooh, Kathy, I love that question mark emoji. Will I be using the pencils in the creative art journey? I will not, Kathy. They are not on the supply list that you need to have them, so I will not be using them. And if you are participating in the creative art journey, just so you know, the supply list has been shared and you can see what we'll be using. Okay, so now we're going to use this new stamp set. It's called Darling Christmas, and it is very darling. I love, look at the little deer. He's so cute. But we're going to use this string of lights. And I just thought that this was something fun to add on to these cards. Another layer that doesn't really like overpower the look of the cards. Okay. So I just start laying the string of lights down at an angle. I'm going to use that Hickory Smoke Archival ink again. And we are just going to stamp some lights on these guys. You can do it, Mary. Especially if you just bring up tonight's replay. Do it at your own pace. You can pause me, rewind me. I definitely think you guys could do it. I definitely do. All right, so I kind of just did 3 string of lights per background. I don't know. This is when I always get nervous on a live that I'm like boring you guys. And you might not want to see me do this on all the backgrounds. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna cross one right here. Yay, Chloe. So happy. If you guys start using the pencils and you do any of the techniques I've been sharing with them, please, please, please tag me so that I can see what you guys are creating. Again, that reel that I posted that has so many views, people have been tagging me in their creations, and I love it. I love seeing what you guys are creating. Anytime you guys are inspired by anything I've shared with you, I love to see what you guys are doing. Where did all my backgrounds just go? Oh, here they are. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened here? So I love this string of lights stamp because it's really easy to work with if you're not noticing. It's just real easy to kind of just throw it down wherever and it can overlap and it just looks super, super cute. Even if you didn't sparkle at all, which we obviously are going to, but I still think it looks awesome. Thanks, Chloe. Oh, thank you, Sharna. Yay. Okay. I just get nervous. I feel like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I think it's because like, I don't know, on YouTube, you know, when you watch like a video, we edit it down, we speed things up. So I just get nervous that people will be like, see you later. We'll go like this. Curious what some of your favorite Tim Holtz Christmas stamps are. Love so many of his new ones. Well, I would say the bottle brush trees, obviously. And I'm trying to think. Really, it's whatever ones I made a project with are the ones that I love. Tim does not tell us specifically what we have to use. And so really, I use what I'm inspired by. So if you go back to his live from when he did the release of the Stampers Anonymous stamps, you'll see the cards that I sent in. And those are my favorites. So it was the bottle brush trees. And then it was the festive foliage, this set right here. And then I'm trying to remember what else I sent in. Oh, I didn't send it in, so this isn't part of his live, but you'll see it on my blog. I think it's called Department Store, maybe. And I did no line watercoloring with distress watercolor pencils of the big classic vintagey looking bells. And again, if you go to my website, you'll find that if you look through my blog posts. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, so just so you guys also know, on my website, especially with the new website that I launched at the end of August, if you go there and you search the actual name of any Tim Holtz stamp set or Lawn Fawn stamp set or anything like that, if I've made a project with it, it'll come up. So there's a ton of ideas and inspiration for you guys at shirkus.com. So you guys can just see how I'm just kind of laying it down wherever. Excuse me. Not in the same place, but I'm just kind of crisscrossing them, zigzagging them. 3 strands of lights per card. And again, that text in the background makes me so happy. These cards make me want to break out my art journal. Actually, I should say dust off my art journal. You'll find them, Donna. You've got a lot of work ahead of you, but your room's going to look awesome once you get it all set up. Donna just moved from Alaska to Texas in their 18-wheeler moving truck. Just made it with all their stuff, and I laughed because she shared a story on her Instagram of opening up the 18-wheeler truck, and there was still room in the trailer. I was like, you guys still had more room. You did good. Yeah, the department store stamps are so pretty. And so again, I did a no-line watercoloring with the big bell image. And I used the Distress watercolor pencils. We used the Distress watercolor pencils this fall on a live too. On a Get Crackin' on Christmas. I'm trying to remember what card it is that I made. Maybe one of you guys will remember. Jen might, because my friend Jen is not a card maker, but she comes to all of these lives. Maybe Sharna's here a lot too. She might remember. Yeah, I just don't remember. I just remember talking to you guys about them, but my mind is throwing a blank right now. Meg asked, question, who would be good to follow for an art journal? Well, I highly recommend Dina Wakely, and she does a lot of online classes that you also can take after the fact, and I've taken so many of her in-person classes and online classes, and I've retaken classes. I love her style, and it's so inspiring. I'm trying to think who else. I follow a few people on Instagram, but again, I would have to literally dust my art journals off, so I'm not really thinking of anybody off the top of my head right now. I love the creative play in an art journal, and I think that's why these cards feel like that to me. All right, that wasn't too bad, guys. We did them all. Did them all, right? So I'll just give this stamp a little wipe, and we will put it back. Thank you, Mary Lou. So Mary Lou is really good in the fact that she does attend a lot of these Get Crackin' on Christmas, and she tries to make a similar card to mine with what she already owns. She's very, very good at like substituting and finding something in her stash. I tend to always share her cards on my stories because I'm always like so surprised at her creativity. That's right. It was a Hero Arts floral, and I watercolored in the image. Yeah, you guys are good. You're way better than me. Way better than me. All right. Sandra asked, can you use an embossing pen on the light bulbs and then use embossing glaze to light them up? Why, yes, you could. You totally could. Sandra wants to know if I'm going to use card bases. I will tell you, all of these are on card bases, you guys. Look. I know I said this last year, but I really have to get better at that. So now, before we get to any of the sparkliness, now is when I start to decide what I want to do for sentiments, okay? And if you don't know me already, I love typography. So I love kind of picking sentiments and choosing and all of that. So I just wanted to show you guys a few options. Option number one that I did use is the Bold Tidings mini stamp set. And you can see I use them on these two cards here. And this is the stamp set. Well, not this one. You guys are going to get a brand new one. But that is part of the giveaway. And I really do like this where it's just stamped right on the card. So we'll probably do at least one with that. The other thing is I could just use a sentiment from the tiny text. I could stamp it and then cut it into word fetty, which is what I call this, little sentiment strips. Okay. Which, by the way, if you just search word fetty on my website, you'll see how often I use that. This Darling Christmas set has these really cute little sentiments, and that is what I used on 2 of the other 2 cards. And so I just stamped them and cut them into little strips and put them on with foam strips. Mary Lou is using a Concord & Ninth brush tree stamp from years ago. I can't wait to see how it comes out, Mary Lou. And just because, you know, Janabler alert, I wanted to share with you guys the other thing that you could use is Tim's been coming out with these awesome label stickers. And they come in a package like this. This is the Christmas set. So I put them on with a foam strip so that they're popped up from the card. And they look like that old school Dymo labeler. Okay. The other thing that Tim came out with this year is this sticker book, this Christmas Noel sticker book. And it has all of these fun little sticker strips. And that is what I used. Just getting my samples again. That is what I used on like these cards, which I love that. I love that look. Okay. And then the other, this is old school. I have so many packages of these small talk stickers because I just love them so much. They come in white and black, and this is the occasions one. So there is Christmas specific sentiments in here. And then the other thing too is you could use his rub-ons. You could do the rub-ons directly onto cardstock, cut it, and then make your own sentiment strip. I used one of his word chips. I don't know the real name of them, but that's like one of his ideology chipboard pieces. And really, any of his stamp sets have awesome sentiments. So this one I did some gold embossing. This one I just stamped and ink blended over, but just cut them into strips as well. So lots and lots of options. Tonight, I think we're going to do just what I did originally. We'll do a few with Bold Tidings, and we'll do a few with Darling Christmas. How's that? Aw, thanks, Beverly. Let's see. Sharna says, I turn on Crime Junkies and cut gold cardstock I cut and fold, I think you mean, card bases like once a month now. That's a good idea, Sharna. I'm listening to true crime constantly, so yeah, I love the look of word fetty. And I like to cut them out with my scissors so it's not perfectly straight. I like that look. No, more stamps. Thank you guys. You're the best. All right, so we'll do a few where we'll stamp some sentiments. So let's go ahead and do all is calm, all is bright. And I kind of just pick a place. There's no right or wrong place. I do know we're going to be putting some distressed mica down here. So I'm going to avoid that place. But other than that, and because we're stamping on the textured watercolor cardstock, I am going to use my VersaFine ink. It's just a little bit juicier, softer ink, and I think it'll help get a good impression on that textured cardstock. And I'll have to stamp it a couple times so that it gets nice and bold. The other thing that you could do is make sure your background is completely dry, and you could clear emboss these sentiments. Now, these sentiments are designed in the manner that they're not supposed to fill in perfectly, especially the larger ones. the larger bold tidings that he has. I think there's 4 different sets, but because again, we're working on that distress watercolor cardstock, it just takes a couple stamps. And this is why we like having a stamping platform, so we can do it multiple times. Nikki's making adorable ornaments for kids listening to wild serial killer tales. Festive. That's my life all the time, Nikki. All the time. Chris walks in. He's like, how are you designing those really cute cards and listening to what you're listening to? All right, let's see. For this purpley one, I'm just going to pick, maybe we'll do Believe in the oh, I just did that one. Let's see. Let's do Making Spirits Bright. Hi, Tiffany. All right. So again, if I knew I was doing a lot of stamping, I would have used the smooth side of the Distress Watercolor cardstock. But I'm using my pre-cut rectangles from Heidi, which I love. It's totally cool. So I've done some really cool things with these bold tidings. If you, again, just search it on my website where I've covered the letters with glitter, which I know you guys are going to be shocked to hear that. But they look really, really cool. All right, so now I am going to just stamp some sentiments from this set. We got 3 more backgrounds. So let's go ahead and do, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Oh, I already did that one. I'm trying to do different sentiments. I don't know why. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Let's do that one. Then we'll do It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And then let's do Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Honestly, the true crime stories have been really helping me in my cold walking for the step back challenges that I'm doing. I just kind of really focus on the story and just walk, walk, walk. And don't focus on the cold. Oh, you're listening to them at 2 times speed, Sharna. Whoa. Whoa. Again, Tracy, love that emoji, the question mark emoji. I've moved on to Class Pep for Frosty Friends. Wow, you're ahead of the game, Tracy. What distress ink would you recommend instead of River Rock ink? Well, you're not going to use a distress ink, Tracy, because River Rock ink is an alcohol marker friendly ink, and any distress ink will bleed with your markers. So if you don't have a gray alcohol friendly ink, then I would just use black, jet black. All right. So we've got all that done. So now we're going to just cut these little guys out into word strips. And again, I don't like to use my trimmer. I kind of like them to look a little less than perfect. So I am just going to, my nose is itching. Somebody must be talking about me. So I just get them cut into strips. And then I'll trim the ends off so each strip is tight to the sentiment. You could even ink the edges of these with like a coordinating distress ink. That would be pretty. And I'm just going to stack them on backgrounds so that I don't lose track of which strips go to which sentiment until I get them adhered. Yep, Memento is an alcohol marker friendly ink, so you could use that. Just any gray ink that's going to work with your coloring medium. All right, and we'll just do this last one here. And when you're working on cards, especially holiday cards, and you do everything in kind of an assembly mode, it really does go by faster. So make a whole bunch of backgrounds, then do all your sentiments, then do all your glittering, you know, or all your assembling, then all your glittering. It really does make a big difference. Oh yeah, I've heard that too. You're going to kiss a fool if your nose itches. All right. So we've got our sentiments. So I'm going to add these sentiment strips with my good old foam strips. These are the 3L scrapbook adhesive foam strips that I am obsessed with, and they work perfectly. Oh, sorry, Jen. I didn't see you telling me to use Joy. I just saw it now. Oops. All right, and then we're just deciding where we want to go. There's a feeling in the air of Christmas, and I just like to definitely overlap them. You know, overlap the trees so we have some color behind them. I did not get my little dish for all my bits and pieces close by tonight. So, but see how cute, right? I still have that repositionable adhesive on the backs of these backgrounds. So this weekend, I will be packing up the 300 boxes for the Creative Journey Art Retreat, which is a virtual event I'm doing in January. I have never really hosted a virtual one in January before, but there was no time this fall. And I had done a little poll and everybody was like, yeah, let's do it January instead of November. Like again, because everybody's so busy. But I'm a little nervous shipping out 300 boxes the week of Christmas. But it's all going to work out. My friend Julie is coming over. She and I have become quite the shipping team. She helps me whenever I have these big shipments that I need to do. And it'll take us all day Saturday and all day Sunday to get everything all packed up and ready to go. Exciting, exciting. Let's see. It's the most wonderful time. All right, I'm not going to start singing, I promise. I promise, I promise. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. Yeah, before I hired Julie to help me, the fun friends would come over and help me at the beginning of the pandemic when I was trying to figure everything out. We were all in the garage with our masks on, packing up boxes. I have the best friend group who are always willing to help. I love it. All right. What's this one? To all, wait, a good night to all, and to all Merry Christmas. Is that what it is? No, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I'm really messing it up. Thank you, Brienne. Thank you, Angie. No, singing was bad, Donna. Singing was bad. Nobody needs to hear that. All right, so now once we get this on, we are going to put these backgrounds on card bases. I know, don't be shocked, but we want to get them on card bases before we start glittering all of the things so that they can just sit and dry. And we don't have to worry about it. And what I did last time is I coordinated the border of my card base to coordinate the colors of the trees. I'll show you guys in a minute. But what I think I'm going to do this time is just maybe keep them white. So for this card, for instance, whatever colors I used on the trees, I did as an ombre on the border, right? This is the purpley one. But I think to, again, save time, I know you guys said you're not getting bored, but to save time, I thought I would probably just do, I think I'm just going to do white. Let's see how it looks. I think it could be pretty once all the sparkles on there. Or these all do have some form of purple on them. So I could just do wilted violet. Maybe I'll do that just to make it pop, because you guys know me. The more color, the better. So we'll do just a quick ink blending. Let's see, we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to use an ink blending tool. And what's great about this is it's such a small border that it does not need to look perfect at all. So I'm working directly on my tabletop because it is made of glass. If you guys don't have a glass mat for your ink blending, highly recommend it. Having glass really does make a big, big difference. And then I love to use the ink stand to hold my ink pad in place so it's not going all over the place. Okay, there's one. Good upper body workout for me tonight, right? I already got my steps in, so now we'll just do a little upper body workout here. Oh, that's a good idea, Arlene. Swipe the ink pad around the edges. Gosh, we used to do that for everything, huh? Remember those days? I love how messy this looks until we put the background on. It's like nobody ever knows, except for you guys. behind the scenes crafting, right? So a funny joke, let me grab, not a funny joke, a funny story. Let me grab these cards to show you while I'm pink blend. These cards here that again, I made and were part of the, Tim shared on his live, did not have splatters on the background. Those were inspired by and done by one of my kitties, Jack. Sometimes when I work late at night, I leave my cup of water like this on my desk. Harley was never really into getting into stuff like that, even when he was younger. But oh gosh, many times Jack he does it at night, obviously, but he comes up on my desk and he plays in that cup of water and splatters water everywhere. And I often have projects made with distress ink, which is reactive to water, on my desk. And so he has ruined some projects, but he has also contributed to some projects. So all these cards I had made to ship to Tim, to have them in time for the live. And I did not have time to make them again. And so I just went with it. So I added more water splatters to all of them. And then I added, and then I added some ink splatters. And then I added some metallic splatters. So we can thank Jack for that inspiration, my kitty. I was like, oh my gosh. I think I even shared that in the blog post for those cards. But I was like, Jack. But then I can only be mad at myself for leaving it out overnight and not putting it away. So I try really hard to remember now, but there are some nights I don't go to bed till really, really late because I'm trying to get stuff done and I'm just not thinking clearly. So, all right, let me just wipe this down. Aw, thank you so much, Mary. I need to make some card bases so I can send Christmas cards. Yeah, I do not love making card bases either, Brianne. I do not love it. All right, so now we are going to add these to the backgrounds, or the backgrounds to the card bases. I'm going to use my ATG gun for this, but I do know that it's almost out, so, and I don't have a refill nearby, so I'll just switch to some score tape when I do run out. I will tell you, super satisfying because I just changed this ATG refill not that long ago, but because I have been making so many stacks of cards, like again, I made those 13 cards for the Newton's Nook video. I've been making lots of cards, so it always makes me actually feel good because I know, oh, there we go. I know there's a lot of adhesive in the ATG gun. So it actually makes me feel good when I run out because I'm like, I feel productive. All right, I'm going to use some double-sided tape to get these onto the card bases. Uh-oh, Beth's kitty was being a pest last night. Annie just said, speaking of cats, I realized mine just left a comment walking across the keyboard. Yeah, so I just used the mini ink blending tool with the domed foam. And the reason why I chose to do that instead of my blender brushes is I really just wanted a darker ink application right off the bat and not have it be super soft, because I just really wanted some vibrancy without a whole lot of work. And I didn't mind if it was going to look messy because, as you guys can see, as I put these backgrounds down, which I am smudging them. So see how I just smudged this tree right here on the right? I'm going to just add some water, just water, and we will be able to blot that off and it'll take that all away. Because again, it's just watercolor pencil. So don't worry too much. All right. So I think Chris and I have decided we're not going to put up a whole lot of ornaments on our tree this year. Since it's this late and we don't have it decorated, we're just going to put our colored balls on the tree, not the special ornaments that take the longest to unpack. Chris offered to do it, but I'm very particular. I'm sure you guys understand, like with your special ornaments, each ornament has a special container it goes in and is wrapped a certain way, and I just didn't want him to like have to figure all that out. So I said this weekend when I'm packing art retreat boxes, he can put some of our teal and white opal balls on the tree, so it's at least a little decorated for when my dad comes. It's all good. Oh no, scratching the couch, Tiffany. That's not good. Do you have other scratching posts? We're lucky. Sometimes Jack will like stretch and do a little pluck of his claws on furniture, but for the most part, our cats are pretty well behaved, I have to say. They're good boys. I'm just trying to see some of the comments as I'm peeling this off. Oh, I see Beth is explaining refilling the ATG gun. It is tricky to refill the ATG gun at first, but once you figure it out, it's kind of like a light bulb goes off. Once you figure it out, it's easy. I remember when I used to manage the paper crafting store, people used to come in and ask for help with that, the ATG gun, and there was another tape runner that EK Success sold. I think it was like the Hermafix, I think it was called. Oh my gosh. So I had just started working at the store. I was a baby. I was in my early 20s. And I mean, they trained me on a lot of things, but not necessarily how to refill this specific gun. And somebody came in and was like, "Oh, can you just do this for me?" And I'm like, "Ah," and she's like standing there watching me. I'm like, "Can you just walk away so I can not have the pressure?" But yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking at first. But then once I figured out how to do it, I didn't mind people coming in and asking for help. Yeah, Harley likes to sleep on the tree skirt too. We don't even have the tree skirt up. Oh my gosh. You guys. It's all good. All right. We got all of our cards on card bases. Look at all this purple, you guys. So now I'm going to show you how I did the sparkliness, but I'm only going to do one of them, and then I'm going to let you guys go tonight because it's the same for all. But let me just bring in one of or two of my samples just to show you. So what I did is along the ground, I did distressed mica flakes, and I find that using the distressed collage medium is really the best adhesive for these mica flakes to stay on. And then for the string of lights, and then I did little ornaments, I used glossy accents. And the reason why I use glossy accents is because it is an adhesive, but it's also dimensional. So it's going to keep its shape. And for the string of lights, full disclosure, I used the old platinum distress glitter that is not being carried anymore, but the holiday sparkle set that I saw is still available at Simon Says Stamp. It's still available at Honeybee Stamps. I've linked to it. Is very similar glitter. So that's why I was like, I'm still going to use it. And then for the ornaments, I used rock candy. All right. And my friend Brad actually guessed that. And then on these, I kind of drew in some stars. I don't know if I love them, but I went with it. Why not, right? So let's go ahead and just do one of these. Again, I don't want you guys to be here with me all night. The first thing I did is I added a little bit of color at the base of the trees. And the way that I did that is I'm going to just take a paintbrush and paint on some water. And I'm not like trying to see exactly where the water's going, but I'm just filling in around the base of the trees. If I touch my wet brush to these, it will move the color. So I'm trying to avoid it a little bit. Okay. And then I took the peacock feather watercolor pencil and a wet paintbrush, and I'm picking the color up with my wet paintbrush and just laying that color down. And you can see it's going to spread wherever I added water. And now that I can kind of see what I'm doing, I'm okay coming up right close to wherever that watercolor pencil was. Okay, does this make sense? And I really just wanted to add some color behind where those mica flakes are going to go. And now I'm just softening the edge with a wet brush. No more pencil, just kind of having it fade off. Okay, so just making that ground. Now I'm just going to dry that with my Ranger heat tool. Oh, that's such a bummer. Having all the scratching things for them and having them still scratch your furniture. Good thing they're cute, right? Jen's asking if we're going to put her wash ashore ornaments on this year. I'll put the one on that I bought this year, Jen, but I'm not unpacking any special ornaments this year because I don't know exactly where the wash ashore ones are. And by the time I start digging through to find them, then I've gone through all of it. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is add on the mica flakes. So I like to just keep them in a similar container that I keep all my glittery type things. That way when I'm sprinkling it, I have a bigger area to sprinkle it with. And like I said, I'm going to use the Distress Collage medium. And I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze some of this on along the base of the trees. I'm not necessarily filling in everywhere that I just put pencil. I'm just kind of making a ground. Okay, and I go fairly thick. And I pick up the mica flakes and plop it into that Distress Collage medium. And then I just give it a gentle pat so that it will press into the glue and then dump it off. It's going to look a little cloudy right now because that Distress Collage medium is not dry. But when it does dry, it's pretty translucent. You can see through and see that teal that we watercolored very, very well. Okay, so that's how I did the ground. Next up, we are going to do the light bulbs. And again, this is the platinum distress glitter that he had years ago, and for some reason they discontinued it, which makes me sad to discontinue any type of glitter. But the new sparkle glitters that have been released with the holiday releases, with the limited edition stuff, is very, very similar. And for that, I'm going to use glossy accents so that I'll have that dimension and they'll actually seem like light bulbs. Okay. And I will use a spoon to get the glitter where I want it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just take this glossy accents, and I really like to use the baby bottle because I just find it's easier to control and you don't get as many air bubbles. But I'm just going to do little dollops of glossy accents all along the string of lights. So let me bring this up so you guys can see. Do you see that dimension? Okay. So it's going to stay that defined. Glossy accents will not run on you. It pretty much stays wherever you put it as long as you keep this flat, obviously. But it is thick enough that it's going to keep its shape. So I'm just going and dotting some glossy accents on every bulb. You got some time to work. It's going to stay wet for a while, so you don't have to feel super pressure. But just so you guys can see all the little bulbs. And this would look cute too, just leaving them clear. But you guys know me better than that. So I am going to add glitter to all of these. Now, in a perfect world, I would let these dry before I add the ornaments on the tree, but for the sake of live, we will go ahead and add the ornaments on the tree. But look at those, you guys. And see how dimensional they are? See from the side? They're going to keep that shape. So they look like real bulbs, which I love. Love, love, love. Thank you, Penny. Thank you so much. Remember to come back to the video and leave a quick comment and be subscribed to my channel for a chance to win the giveaway. Kathy asked, when mailing these cards, do I put anything over the mica to protect it? I've shared in the past, I have these really thin foam sheets. They're like what you protect plates with when you're moving. I would put a piece of that over this. Okay, I don't think I've missed anything else. So now for the ornaments, they can be as big or as small as you want and as many as you want. Now my glossy accents just burped a little and I've got some air bubbles. So I am just gonna pierce it with my tweezers. But again, with the baby glossy accents, those types of burps don't happen as often. All right, so I just did kind of 3 big ornaments per tree. And I'm going to use the same spoon. And this is the Distress Rock Candy. And I'm just avoiding the other, the lights a little bit. Again, if I were doing these in my own time, I would let the lights dry and then do all the ornaments. But just to be able to show you guys what's happening here. Now remember, I put glue down and press the mica into the glue, but these you're not going to want to press because you want them to keep their shape. And they're going to look a little cloudy until they dry. But look how fun. So fun, right? Should I do one more? I'm going to do one more. All right, and then we'll do a wrap up. I'll do one that doesn't have the text in the background. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add my color to the background. And honestly, I probably would have done this before I added them to card bases, but I kind of forgot. So I add water first, and I'm just working my way around the base of the trees not really touching because it's watercolor pencils, so the color will move, but I'm just getting some water down to get started. And then I'll use my wet brush and pick some color off of the peacock feather paint watercolor pencil. And your pigment will spread a lot easier since we already have the water down. And now that I know where I'm going, I don't mind touching the base of the trees a little bit and having colors mingle together. That's kind of the beauty of watercolor. And then I'm just going to take just a clean wet brush, no pigment, and just soften the edges so it doesn't look like such a harsh line. Okay, I'm just going to dry this with my heat tool. Perfect. Ida says she has mailed things without protecting the mica flakes and it's gotten there okay. I do too as well, Ida, but if you wanted to protect it, those plate foam sheets are great. Thank you so much, Janet. And remember, you guys, I'm going to finish up this live, and then you're going to want to leave a comment in the comments on the replay to be eligible for the giveaway. And it's for a Tim Holtz stamp set, wood grain cardstock, and deco sheets. I don't know if you guys hear Jack in the background, but he is crying to Chris. And the reason why he's crying is because he likes to get an escort to his food dish that is perfectly full. Our cats are self-feeders, so very rarely are their bowls empty. We just constantly fill it and they don't overeat. But we have learned sometimes Jack literally just wants somebody to walk him to his food dish. Oh boy, our pets are spoiled. So I'm adding the glossy accents to the light bulbs on the string of lights. And you can see how quick it does go. You don't have to be super perfect. And we're going to add the gold glitter to that. We've got all the cat noises in the background now. See, just tapping the spoon on the edge of the card really gets rid of that static cling. And now we'll go ahead and add our ornaments. If it's a bigger tree, I put 5 ornaments. If it's a smaller tree, I put 3. Is my method. And you can see the glitters don't really mix because the gold glitter is being held on already by the glossy accents. I do find covering the ornaments completely will help the rock candy really stay. Having a larger container for glitter like this really makes containing the glitter easier. But I just love that look. I think it is so, so, so pretty. And I'll finish these. Oh gosh, I didn't do the mica flakes. Moving on. Got to do the mica flakes, right? Leah's asking, how long do you allow it to cure before you mail it? It's obviously depends where you live and the humidity and the dryness. This time of year on Cape Cod, we're pretty dry because the humidity is low and we have heat running in our houses. So these will be dry in a half hour, 45 minutes. And honestly, you could mail them pretty much then. But my cards never go out that quickly. But if you weren't get cracking all year and you're in a pinch, I would just let them dry maybe overnight. Gentle tap of those mica flakes into the Distress Collage medium. And there we go, you guys. So like I said, let me move my wet cards out of the way so I don't accidentally touch them. But like I said, keep in mind when you guys are creating and playing that one little idea and having time to play can spur off all kinds of other ideas, right? And that, I was looking for my other, that is what's really cool. And one of the reasons why I really like Get Crackin' on Christmas is it gives me that creative time to play and experiment and try different things, right? So fun. Remember, all of these, except for the rainbow bottle brush trees, are on my blog. And the rainbow bottle brush trees, because I have some other samples that these did not use distress watercolor pencils, I will have up on my blog in the next couple days. But everything else is on my blog. There's a video for these guys right here that I did for Newton's Nook. There's a reel for this where I explain my technique really quickly. And then also, of course, you guys can watch the replay for this and play along, right? So thank you guys. And remember, the giveaway is happening. So I will finish up this live in just a minute. And you'll want to make sure that you're leaving a comment on the video by December 20th. And I will choose a winner. It is a worldwide giveaway. I'll give it away. I'll ship it wherever. You do just need to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I've done really good this past month with uploading videos. And I'm hoping to have more YouTube content for you guys in 2023. I'm trying really, really hard to make it part of my work week among all the different classes that I teach as well. So definitely subscribe so that you guys won't miss anything that I share. This is the last Get Crackin' on Christmas for the year. Thank you guys so much. Happy holidays. And I will be back in January. The first Get Crackin' on Christmas will be that third Thursday of the month. That is how it always is. I always, always, always post on the third Thursday of the month. And I will let you guys know probably before then when my next few lives will be. So if you want to, you can kind of mark your calendars and hopefully plan to join me. But really, I would love for you guys to join me monthly. You can listen and watch, but also at the same time be working on your own holiday cards. Can be making something completely different than what I'm making. But the point is to get cracking on Christmas so you have more holiday cards come the holiday season and you're less stressed. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you joining me during this busy time of year. Definitely check out my blog post for today for these cards because there's links to my crafty friends and almost all of them are also offering giveaways. So you guys have many, many, many options and chances to win all kinds of fabulous prizes. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night and happy holidays.